Hello, everyone. Welcome to the B2B SaaS Podcast. Today we have Santi Magazu with us. Santi here runs a company called Orbital Ads. Hey, Santi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, Santi, let's get started and let's try to understand what your product does and why customers pay you money.
It's very simple. We help manage pay search campaigns in Google Ads. So basically, if you use Google Ads to get leads, to get awareness, we have a very simple way. It's a SaaS service. So we connect to your Google Ads account. You basically define the rules. So let's say that you want to optimize your CPC or have a target cost per lead or a CPA or return on advertising spend. So you define the rule. We automatically connect to your Google accounts and we process all the data from your Google Search Report. We can also import data from third parties, so SEMrush, Systrix, or a similar one for keyword research. And we automatically identify keywords you need to add to your account, or you need to negativize, or you need to move from an ad to an ad. We use natural language processing to do that. And what we do is basically we improve performance by about 15 to up to 20% of your campaigns. And on top of that, we save time to the team because you don't need to do this manually or do scripts to do that.
Got it. So I want to understand who your customers are and who you're trying to sell this particular product to. So so how many paying customers do you have on your platform as of today?
We have 10 right now.
10. And who are these customers? What exactly do they do?
Then there are three types of customers. There are advertising agencies, which run campaigns for their clients. So even very large clients, utility, telcos, and insurance, that. That's the first type is advertising agencies. They do this because they can deliver better service and they save time. The second type are companies who manage advertising campaigns internally. So they have an internal team doing this. So they're looking for tools for the same reasons. And third is a new segment we identify are what we call lead generation agencies. So these are people who generate leads and that they sell the qualified lead to utilities, insurances, telcos, etc.
Got it. And approximately how much revenue were you doing across all of these customers last month?
The average ticket is in the range of $1,500 to $2,000 per month. Sorry, $1,500 to $2,000 per month.
That's
the average.
$25,000 annual contract value, something on that.
Okay.
And
that's the range.
Yeah. And when did you get the first customer on your platform?
We got the first SaaS customer in October 2020. So exactly 2 years ago. That was the first one. But to be frank, the product was sort of MVP, a minimum viable product, was not the full product we have now. So we spent the first 12 months basically adjusting the product to the needs. And we really started selling beginning of this year. Beginning of this year, this is when we really started selling.
Got it. So it's been approximately a year or so, right? Something like that.
It's been about 1 year to fine-tune the product, and we've been in business for about 12 months now.
Right. So since you got around 10, 12 customers, right? So I'm assuming you know everything about these customers. So talk to me about the process, right? Where did they find you, right? How did that top of funnel look like for you? Were you running Google Ads on your platform itself? Or how did it work out for you so far?
So we don't use Google Ads a lot, to be frank, because we go to a very niche segment. This has actually people who manage complex campaigns, because simple campaigns you don't need the tools, which have a significant investment in Google Ads. So they spend a lot in their complex needs. For instance, people who do campaigns in different languages, because our platform is language agnostic. So you can run campaigns in different languages, even not speaking the language, which is cool. So it's very difficult to do a Google Ads campaigns and target these people.
Yeah.
So we use more LinkedIn because you can do very specific audiences, and we do a lot of outbound sales SDR reach. So we really target people and we write to them, we call them, and we focus. We have a very niche audience.
So just help me quantify this, right? So when you say outbound via your SDRs, what channel are you primarily using and what is that particular niche that you're targeting?
So let me give you some numbers around this. So we target clients in Europe, North and South America, and India. For some reasons, India is a very good market for this, as you might know. So we reckon to have about 12,000 customers, type customers, 12,000 companies right now who can buy our service. So we can go very, very micro-segmented. So we look advertising agency, India. There are not more than 1,500, which are really interesting. So we go very precise on that. Or big advertisers, US. There are maybe 500 big
So
advertisers.
how does the process look like once you figure out this particular niche, right? So are you doing outbound emails or is it outbound calling or some magical strategy that you...
We do a mix of that. So first, we tend to do emails first. And depending on the reaction, if they open the email, then we call. So it's a mix of outbound emails and calling.
And
we are just starting to do a bit of inbound, doing webinars, doing a specific content, and have people reach out to us. We had a webinar yesterday for the first time for sales manager in the US, and we got 50 people. Over 50 people joined the webinar, which for us, small company, was a big success.
got it. So I want you to sort of quantify this in terms of, top of funnel lead generation perspective, right? So you mentioned you use LinkedIn as well as outbound using various channels, right? So out of the 12 customers that you've sort of got, managed to close so far, which one was the most responsible channel for you so far?
The most responsible channel so far has been, I'm thinking because it changed over time, but so far has been LinkedIn, probably LinkedIn.
And
LinkedIn.
How many customers did you sort of get from LinkedIn as such?
I think we got over 50% for LinkedIn.
50%. Got it. And what's the strategy here, right? Were you trying to build a brand using your personal account or LinkedIn, or was there something else that you were trying to do there?
Some of them we use personal contact. I'm the CEO. The founder is not in the sector, so we use our network. Although we use a database, so we identify the database. Then we use some automation tools. We use a couple of automation tools for LinkedIn. That's the main thing. Also,
so essentially, it's like a cold outreach on LinkedIn that you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So just help me complete the story here, right? How does the conversion look like? So how much acceptance rate do you get, and how many of them do actually end up expressing interest using this channel?
I would say that it's about 10%. No, acceptance maybe in the range of 20% acceptance. Getting to have a significant, relevant conversation, be out of 100, maybe I would say 4, more with the region of 4 or 5. A conversion of 1. That's in the range.
And it's just going from your LinkedIn account, right? Nothing else.
Well, this is one thing we do. The LinkedIn tends to be either the founder or myself. And we tend to go through the CEO, to the vice, to the CMO, and to the C-levels of the companies. Yes.
Got it. Right. So since you're closing deals in the range of, 20, 25K ACV on a regular basis, I'm assuming that you'll need to do a lot more than just, showing them your potential customer, your product, right? You've got to somehow convert that. Talk about the conversion funnel, right? So once you sort of somehow...
So so the typical, I'll give you the typical. So the typical thing is you have a first conversation, which is about really understanding the pain points. That's the goal, to understand what the pain point, if they manage a campaigns internally, or if there is an agency which you need to involve in the process. That's the first thing. So the second thing, normally they come with specific pain points. They say, okay, you told me about this, but my specific problem is the cost per lead. And what we do is a demo on that specific issue. So I bring in someone from our client success team, which is a bit of a SAM specialist, and they do a monograph on that. If there is an interest and they start saying, hey, what's the price of this? Then we say, look, let's do this. Let's do a free trial. You use this for free for 30 days. Obviously, they qualify. And at the end of the 30 days, you can become. And we are having a conversion rate. I did this yesterday, so I can tell you it's about 16% from initial conversation to try and buy. And then the conversion from try and buy to pay customer is between 60 and 70%. I mean, good months is about 70%. months, 55. So between 55 and 70% stay with us, which is not bad.
Right. So talk about the future, right? How are you going to scale up from, let's say, 250K ARR to something like 2-3 million ARR, right? What's the strategy going forward here?
So there is a product strategy, which is launching a new product for small, medium businesses, small, medium accounts, which is instead of being the range of $1,500 to $2,000, is going to be in the range of $50 to $500 per month. That's the range. And that would be a simplified user interface. So it's not only that you manage less smaller campaigns, it's also that it's a simplified, less features, which is even better for some of these users. So the first big thing is to go to a mid-market, which we don't serve today. We have the product in beta. We're connecting it. I hope that at the end of the year, this should be live. That's a big thing. And then the next thing is to expand to Amazon advertising and big managed advertising. So AV networks. And we are we are raising money now. We're going to do a new round of funding towards Q2 next year, the second quarter next year. And at that point, I think we will invest heavily in marketing, online marketing, to get inbound traffic, which we don't get today.
Got it. All right. So let's conclude this, right? So talk to me about the team that you have as of today.
So we are 18 people. Half of this are developers and products. So half the company is developers and products. Then we have of the other 8, 9, half is selling, including myself and the other. We spend a lot of time with clients. And half is client success. So it's helping customers on board and configure stuff.
Got it. And did you raise any external funding so far to build the company?
Yes, we raised since 2020, which was us, we raised 3 million euros so far.
Got it. All right. Thanks, Sandy. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. Hope to scale over to that much greater heights.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. And thank you very much for reaching out to us.
Yeah.